Hey guys, welcome back to the Justfly channel. My name is Jay and I'm the host of this channel. And today we've got some exciting news from the folks over at Fenix Simulations. This is probably a little bit late, but I already explained it inside the post. If you haven't read it, then probably you want to read it because I'm not going to explain it in this one. Let's get straight with the rest of the video. DJ Choice on the beat. After a short marketing period and a cheesy launch trailer earlier this week, Fenix Simulations has released its most anticipated A319 and A321 expansion pack. Both the Airbus A319 and the Airbus A321, which is both in the CEO models, are in a single expansion pack as a add-on for their A320 that launched a few years ago. Now, before we go any further, I should let you watch the trailer. Long Yeah, it was kind of like a cheesy trailer. Now, before we head on to the next thing, I want to clarify something. All of the Fenix Simulations lineup, including the A320, the A321, and the A319, are for PC only. If you would like to get this expansion or the whole entire package, this is on PC only, not on Xbox. Now let's move on to the history. I'm not going to bore you out too much, but I need to explain it or there's no point of me making this video. DJ Choice on the beat. By far, the longest of the A320 family is the Airbus A321. Entering service in 1994, the stretch fuelage means that it could carry up to 236 passengers and has a maximum takeoff weight of 93.5 tons. It could fly up to 3,200 nautical miles at a cruising speed of Mach 0.78. It's proven hugely popular for airlines wanting capacity and fuel efficiency of the Airbus range of planes. Because it shares the same type rating as the rest of the A320 family, it could be found with a huge number of airlines that could deploy a number of these types among the other narrow body fleets. Except this, if you do have a type rating in real life and you're new to having that type rating, you might not be able to fly the A321 that quickly. This is where the smaller version comes into play. The A319. This is the smallest variant of the A320 family with a maximum passenger capacity of 156 passengers. It started entering service in 1996 and is primarily used by EasyJet, American Airlines, and Delta. Over 1,500 of the types are in service and has proven popular for missions that have shorter runways or require less capacity for more rural airports. As with their A320 series, Fenix has taken great care to ensure that these aircrafts are as rich as possible. As explained in some of the previous posts that they put on their blog, the A319 and the A321 are not just a model with a few weight adjustments and tweaks. These are fully modeled with their differences and things that make them unique to one or another. Expect to find accurate sounds, flight dynamics, and system changes to reflect on the aircraft's real-world purposes. Now, that was just a short rundown. Let's now get into a little bit more detail with the rest of this aircraft. First, let's start off with the core art changes to the A319 and A321. Rather than just simply modifying the existing textures to fit these variants, the art team rebuilt the fuelage textures from the ground up with all new weathering and materials. For example, the A319 is by default represented in a higher pressurization cycle state, with stronger skin deformation on the airframe. This is often most visible on the A32X aircraft around the nose, above and below the cockpit windows, highlighted in the harsh angle of the sunlight. Now, whilst we're looking at the A319, a lot of people have been asking about which overwing emergency exit configuration they will be providing on their A319. Well, the answer in short is that they are including both. That is including the single OWE versions and the dual OWE versions. This is configured per livery. This, for Fenix Simulations, as they said, was a big undertaking, but it just didn't feel right for EasyJet to have a fake OWE. And it also just doesn't go simple as just cutting a hole out of the aircraft. It goes a little bit more deeper because you still need to make it reflect on the ECAM, the cabin artwork, and the wing layout, just to name a few bits and pieces. Now, moving to the A321, there was another difference: the cabin layout. Now, they had an option to pick between 2 classes or a single class. And again, they decided to do the same thing as what they done with the A319's OWE and decided to just give both, again, livery configurated. This means that you will have either 2 class or a single class inside the aircraft depending on the livery. A little feature that they also added is that it comes with a divider curtain that will move depending on the phase of the flight. Now, since we're here talking about the A321, let's talk about the double slotted flaps that is on this aircraft. You may also notice that there is new window textures which really enhance the cabin experience. These flaps, unique to the A321, are a part of a larger effect to increase lift at the lower pitch angles to reduce the chance of a tail strike on takeoff and landing. These changes committed in the lift improvement package discussed in great detail in one of the other blog posts. The extension to the spoilers and the trailing edge of the wing, it doesn't seem like it does too much from maybe your perspective, but apparently it makes all the difference. The A321 also has another unique feature, this time on the engines, specifically the CFM56, but even more specifically, the chevrons on the exhaust cone. Between this and some additional noise dampening materials in the reverser cowlings, which, bear in mind, it does work and you could hear it inside the simulator, it keeps the noise levels in line with the lower rated A319 and A320 variants, saving operators paying additional fees for being in a higher noise category. Now, before we head on to delivery previews that I kind of want to show you because it's really exciting, I wanted to take a brief moment to discuss some of the sounds and probably just let you hear it. I'm not even going to speak anymore. I'm just going to let you hear it and let you kind of like work out what's the difference between it and if you should pick this this expansion pack up. Now moving on to the liveries. Fenix Simulations could not show every single one that they have, but let's just say that their livery manager has now been boosted over to 450 liveries on their livery manager. This means since Block 2 has been released, they have been averaging nearly 3 new liveries a day to their manager. Now, one more difference I would like to give out is the fueling system. The A319 and the A320 share the exact same fueling system, but the A321 is markedly different. Down to the type of pumps used, Airbus attempt to simplify the fueling system for the A321 by removing the split wing tank design and using only one single large tank per wing. In doing so, they also had to replace the electrical center tank pumps with something called the transfer jet pumps. The transfer jet pumps works by using motive flow to extract fuel from the center tank and move it to the wing tank. Now, whilst the older electric center pumps could directly feed either engine, this is something that the A321 can no longer do. The jet pumps instead feed into the wing tanks then feed into the engine. This is represented by a change to the overhead fuel panel, and if you look closely, you'll immediately notice the difference. Now, I would like to say this. Both the A319 and the A321 expansion packs include both the CFM and IAE engine variants, with the sharkless version coming later on in a free update. You'll also be able to find the EFB is compatible with specific performance calculators. Also, there is a GSX profile, and also I'll leave in the link in the description the SimBrief profile that you will need to kind of like get everything configured on SimBrief. Now let's talk about the pricing, which is one of the biggest things that I think we need to talk about. The Fenix Simulations A319 and A321 expansion pack from this store is now $39.99. Now, if you haven't picked up the A320, which you're going to definitely need for this to work, you could pick up the complete bundle, as Fenix is making a single price for $79.99 as a bundle for the A319, the A320, and the A321. Once you've downloaded it, you'll be able to get access to 100 of liveries completely for free. Now, I will need to say, for this to work, you will need to get the new installer, or you're not going to have the A319 or the A321 expansion pack on your PC. So make sure that you install the new installer and everything should be fine there, and you'll be perfectly ready to go. And that is it for today's video. Man, this has been a long work in progress. A few things I wanted to say, which if you haven't read my blog post, I'm not going to read it out word by word, but I will kind of like summarize it because it's very important that I do it. So first off, I haven't got my hands on the A319 and A321 expansion pack just yet, just due to the fact of me being a small YouTube creator with only like 450 subscribers. It's a little bit hard for me to kind of like get my hands on something straight away. Also, sorry for the late delay of this video. I was with my family, I was on a holiday, a nice holiday, so I just needed to kind of like take a little bit of a break before coming back and doing this channel again, and also doing personal stuff as well. And yes, before we end this video, please get me to 1,000 subscribers before Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 comes out, and I will have some cinematic videos coming out hopefully in the near future. And that is it from me, and as always, it's your boy Jay. Happy flying.